Okay.
Hi, good
Hi, good
evening.
evening. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Can you hear me
Can you hear me
perfectly?
perfectly?
Am I audible?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. Good
Good
evening. Thank you
evening.
so,
Thank you
so
so,
much
so
for
much
joining
for
me
joining
tonight in
tonight
Honoring
in Honor
Meditation. I really
I really
appreciate
appreciate
you.
you. My pleasure. My
So
pleasure.
we are just going
I
to
just
wait
need to
for
wait for
a few people to join before we so that we can
so
dive
we
right
can
into
dive
the
right into the
session. I think
session.
it's
I
just
think it's just
8:30.
8:30.
So I guess you can
So I
just
guess
turn
you
off
can
our
just turn off our
phone while mine is
my mind
on.
is on.
All right.
So
So we
I
just
don't know. I
I
think
don't know.
there's
I think there's
a
a
feedback from
feedback
your
from
end.
your end. How about now?
Very, it's perfect.
All right.
Yes.
So I was saying that you could turn off your camera if you would like to, depending on the time that we
Oh,
just play.
really? Thank you. But
No, I mean like for the
let me just
time
stay
being.
for as long as I can.
Oh, no, I just
Okay.
mean for the time being. Okay, I think someone is
All
here.
right.
Okay. Good evening, Toby. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Good evening. So we're just waiting for others to join before we dive right in. Thank you so much for joining, Toby. All right, Toby. So I'd like to know what your expectation is for tonight's conversation, and I also like to know where you're joining from. Please do that in the comments. I'd like to get to know you, where you're joining from, and what's your expectation for tonight's session, for tonight's conversation rather. Toby, could you please confirm you can hear me? Okay. All right. So I was asking that what's your expectation for tonight's session, from tonight's session, and also where are you joining from? Where are you joining? Are you joining from Lagos? Are you joining from Abuja? Where are you joining from? Okay, so what's your expectation from tonight's conversation when you saw the topic? Okay, two generations, one choice, modesty. What came to mind? What were you expecting to hear or learn from tonight's conversation? Okay. To be saying his expectation is to pair modest dressing. Okay, how to pair modest dressing with elegance and looking great. Okay. Okay, so you are looking to learn modest fashion and elegance. All right, all right. I believe the guests tonight will do justice to the expectations you have in mind. So don't worry, your expectations will be met. So we're just going to wait for about 1 more minute and we'll dive right into tonight's conversation. Right. All right. It's 1 minute already. Okay, so good evening to be once again. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Olamide. Good evening, Sonayon. Thank you so much once again for joining. Toby, thank you for joining. I do not take your being here for granted. You could have been anywhere else, doing anything else at this point in time, but you chose to be here tonight to learn, to unlearn, to be learned. So thank you so much for joining. So tonight we'll be talking about the guests, right, Olamide and Sinai, will be walking us through their journeys, their personal stories, and how they've been able to, embrace modesty and navigate pressures, right, so far. Olamide herself as a teenager, I mean, if I'm to talk about Olamide, Olamide is one of the Olamide, I think you can turn on your camera now, right? Olamide is one of the um boldest and most confident young ladies I know. I mean, and she's so apologetic. She's so unapologetic rather about modest fashion, right? She's so unapologetic about modest fashion, and I've been here tonight is really really amazing, right? And I can't wait to soak in the knowledge that she has for us tonight, right? So please, thank you so much, Alamide, for joining. Right. And also Sonayon is a fashion educator, right? So she'll be sharing her experts insights on modest fashion tonight and how she has been able to maintain a lifestyle of modesty over the years. So we have two generations in the room tonight who will be sharing from their wealth of knowledge, right, with us and their lifestyle. So uh, let's give them a round of applause in the comments. Right. Thank you so much for joining tonight and Olamide. Okay, so I'll be diving right into the conversation for tonight. And my first question is for Olamide. Olamide, so as a teenager, right? One I can say that modesty is okay. Is my voice still echoing for you?
I'm struggling to hear a bit actually.
Okay, are you on AirPods?
No,
Okay.
but it's better now. You sounded better when you said, "Are you on AirPods?" So it's better.
Okay, so I want to know, Olamide, what made you choose modesty in your 20s, especially because it's been common these days, for teenagers, for Gen Z, right? Gen Z is getting
Mhm.
more popular. So what made you choose modesty as a lifestyle? Or what was the main
There's an echo.
reason for that? So
I'm sorry, I'm back now.
can someone hear the fan? Because the echo just started. I don't know why.
Okay, is it from me?
I really don't know, but when I still talk and I can still hear the echo.
Yeah, I can hear it too. go ahead since at least I can hear you.
All right. So did you get my question?
Well, let me try to summarize and then you tell me if I heard right. Yeah.
Okay. No,
Okay. I think you.
I think I took the question again.
Yes, please.
What
Yes,
you have
please. That would be
said.
awesome.
I said, what made you choose modesty as a teenager? Or what would you say is the first thing that makes you choose modesty?
Okay. Okay. First of all, can I like use this opportunity to thank you for having me? And I mean, hello, ma'am. Good to have you and do this with you today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So for me, I'll just be honest, right? From the scratch, I just feel like I just knew that I can't be anyhow, right? Not necessarily because of my person or what I really want to do, but environment, background, okay? Well, that did play a factor for me. But another thing is I understood and I still do understand who I am, my identity, even right from primary school. I just feel that I couldn't do what every other person is doing because I mean, I'm different. And not because the pressure wasn't there or, I just knew it had to be modesty. I just knew, although it was hard, right? But I just knew it had to be modest. I mean, and I had African parents that would, call you and call you out well. But I just knew that it was going to be modesty from scratch, environment majorly for me.
Okay. Like if you get them right now, I don't think you can hear me.
It's still like very much echoing.
Okay, I think it stopped now. It's not echoing anymore. Is it better
Not
now?
at all. Yes.
Okay, perhaps Olamide had something on because I think she's not online. Like she left the room already, and I can't hear the sound anymore.
Okay.
Maybe the noise is from my hand. Okay, thank you so much, Olamide, for joining. Okay, so Olamide said one thing that has about choose modesty is environment. All right, perhaps her background. Okay. Sunayon, so for you, right, who happens to be the older generation, right, what would you say has helped you choose modesty as a lifestyle? What's inspired you to choose modesty as a lifestyle?
How will I put it? Let me just say that I just grew up not wanting to just dress anyhow. Let me say environment was one of those things. I was one of those children that when you are growing up, you want to dress like your mates, but you're not permitted to dress like your mates. But then
Mm,
at some point, you now decide to dress the way you feel like it's ideal for you to dress. So generally, I'm a kind of person that do not like to open my body down, right? I like to be very well covered, and I also always believe that regardless of
Regardless of
what I
what I
wear,
wear,
I will look beautiful without me
without me
necessarily
I'm waiting. Is it that
needing
nobody
to
here has had to work?
expose my body and all of that. Do you get? So I would just say that modesty for me just started from my house, my environment, and yeah, I just tilted towards it just naturally, basically. So that was how modesty started for me.
wow. So Olamide said as was environment. She was saying yours too was environment. Well, I think for me it's actually different, right? 'Cause I'm not sure mine is environment. I don't think so because I didn't exactly have strict parents. I mean, I could have chosen to review my body, but I guess it's just a personal decision, or maybe because I met Christ. Right. Thank you so much for sharing, Sunayan.
My pleasure.
Olamide, your voice is echoing. I think there is a lot of noise at your background. I don't know, or maybe are you connected on two devices?
Can you
Sorry.
hear me now? I was muted and I was speaking. I'm sorry. I said I think it's actually my background noise. Kindly give me about 30 seconds to fix that. Is that
All
okay?
right.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. So, Sunayon, what misconceptions do you think people have about modesty, about modest fashion, and how do you think it can be addressed? What misconceptions do you think people have about modest fashion?
So I generally feel that one of the biggest misconception people have about modest fashion is the fact that because you dress modest means that your dresses are ugly. Like
Mm,
they feel like modesty is ugly, modesty is not clean. And when I say
mm,
not clean, more like when you're dressing modest, you don't need to be fashionable. You could just be anyhow, that kind of thing.
mm,
And I feel like it's something that needs to be addressed. So how do we address it? We have people who dress, and people also feel like modesty is color riots. I've
mm,
I've seen people who just feel like, oh, I want to dress modest, so I'll not be wearing color riots. I'll just be dressing anyhow. Like they just feel like you being modest is not you being kept, like looking very well kept. And it's a very big misconception. For me, modesty is modesty is beautiful, and it depends on how you see it. Because I'm putting on a basic top right now. It's not showing any part of my body, but definitely I look very good, right? I could
absolutely.
also choose to want to open the rest of my chest and start pulling up my, pulling up my shirt as we're talking and all of that. I'm going to feel very uncomfortable. So when people say that, oh, when you are modest, it has to be, maybe people that dress modesty are very cliche, they are very ugly. Must the gown be very long? Must the dress be this way? Must the colors be that way? No. Modesty can be very beautiful. Modesty can be very neat. It just depends on how you go about it, right? That you are modest does not mean that you should not smell nice, look beautiful, and all of those things. And does not mean that you should wear color riots. I don't expect to see you wear purple and red because you are trying to pull a modesty stunt. That was then. In fact, now you could be a deeper life girly and rock this thing well. It just depends
Absolutely.
on your perspective of these things, right?
Absolutely.
But when people tell me, oh, modesty is old school, I'm like, I don't understand. In fact, if you ask me, I'll tell you that modesty is expensive. Yeah, because for
Mm,
you to get modest outfit, you need to have like a very
mm,
good amount of money. You can't
mm,
want to pull modesty and want to do it. It's very
absolutely.
expensive to be modest because you could get all
Absolutely.
these indecent outfits. It's everywhere. But for you to find a modest outfit, you will go through the hustle and bustle of this world. You will have to find out if the Esther dress is really Estering, or if the Rita dress is really Ritaing. It's
Mm,
expensive. I'm not going to lie, but the misconception that modest outfits are cheap, ugly, they do not look well. The misconception that when you are modest, you're not supposed to smell nice, look beautiful. It's a lie. And I feel like the way we can address this is by letting people understand that modesty is not what they think it is. There are like
mm,
different ways to see it, and it just depends on what lens you choose to see it through.
mm, mm, absolutely. And I quite agree with you, right? Because I can remember there was a particular day, there was a particular time I went to the market. I wanted to buy a particular dress. And one of the things the traders, like the trader told me was that the reason why they don't store up a lot of modest outfits is because people don't buy it. So I mean, having to walk around, and then I'm one person who happens to be like I have hips, right? So even if I get a dress that happens to be my size, I have to confirm that it's below my knee. So
If not, it's
it's
going to
not
pull
it's
up at the
quite
back.
difficult and expensive. It's quite difficult and expensive. I think that's one of the things that made me prefer into my dress myself or to start my fashion brand, because I feel like I mean modest ladies need to have a way to dress modest and still make a statement. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely right. But if I'm to ask, how do you think we can address this in the fashion industry?
What did you say, please?
I said, how do you think we can address this in the fashion industry?
Outdoors.
Okay, I said, how do you think we can address this in the fashion industry?
Oh, in the fashion industry. So I, for one, used to have a modest brand. And I remember doing like a bit of research before starting, right? And I found out like the market is there. We just have fewer people who want to sell modest outfits because they feel like if I sell modest outfits, I don't think I'm going to have customers. Now, if you want to sell modest outfits to a person, you have to you have to be around them. You have to do things that will attract them, right?
Mm,
The same way everybody wants to advertise anything you want to sell, basically. For you to attract the kind, if you want to sell children's clothing, you have to advertise properly in a way that it will attract the mothers, right? So now you want to sell modest outfits, you have to make sure that your advert attracts like the modest people, and a whole lot goes into it. So in the fashion space currently, I feel like modest fashion designers are very lazy, if you ask me,
mm,
because you want to do modest, because you are doing modest fashion does not mean that you will now start taking videos in the corner of your room, not wanting to invest in good quality content and all of that, because the tides are already against you when you're a modest fashion designer in the Nigerian fashion space, right? Now you want to make sure that you do everything is clean. You want to look at your competitors. What are they doing better than you? I've had girls who were maybe bad girls in quotes, and they were trying to pivot, they were trying to make money, and they just felt like if I pull this Jesus girly thing, people will tilt towards me because Nigerians are generally drawn to people who form Jesus girly, right? And people now currently use it as a marketing strategy. So you see some of them wear it, and I currently have somebody that I saw recently. She's not a modest girly per se, but I think she just found like there is a market there. She started wearing modest dresses. She's in China currently, taking items on pre-order, producing by herself, creating
mm,
content, and she's selling out. So the market is
mm,
there, but people are yet to understand how it works. Even in the Bible, God wants us to be excellent, correct? So
mm,
some people feel like the only thing they need to do is to scrab, ba 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 ba, scrobo, shobro. They should just speak in tongues on the clothes, and God will push their glory in for them without working and doing the
mm,
needful, not having a website, not doing the job. But the market is there. I'm not going to lie to you. The market, the fashion industry is not just people who want to go into modest fashion in fashion industry are not just properly equipped to be able to do it. When I see your design, and as a modest fashion designer, I don't want to see the most ugliest of all designs. No, I
mm,
don't want to. I mean, if you check it, we have different niche in the fashion space. Now, for modest, you also run a modest fashion brand. You can do modest loungewears. You can do modest swimwear. You can do modest office wear. You can
mm,
do modest casual wear. You can
mm,
do modest Afrocentric wear. You can do
mm,
modest plus size wear. See, I can go on and on and on. In fact, you can start selling Jesus girly tote bags. You see, the list is endless. But I genuinely believe that the people that are in the modest fashion industry in Nigeria are currently not prepared for the market. The people are there, the demand is there, but they don't have anybody to meet it. I've seen a lot of people tag me on post and say, oh, maybe people just come outside and say, I need somebody that makes modest outfits. And people will tag me, and I'll just be like, I no longer make modest outfits. Not because I'm no longer a child of God, but the niche of my business shifted from modest per se, because I do bridesmaid dresses and robes now, right? But it just shifted. That doesn't mean that if I want to start modest outfits tomorrow, I won't. I would, and I would thrive because I already know how it works. So the market is there. People just need to understand how to tap into it. That's just it.
wow, wow, thank you so much for sharing. So from all that you said now, like you've listed um a number of areas, or should I say niches, that modest
Yes.
fashion designers can actually focus on. And I really do think that excellence is one thing that is missing. I think it's not just maybe modest fashion. influencers first. I think amidst Christians, we just feel that we can just do things anyhow because we are spiritual, and we expect God to miraculously lay his hands on what we have
Yes.
done, make it even excellent. To be honest, right? And I think that's why sometimes people even outsource to people who are unbelievers, as opposed to maybe outsourcing to people who are Christians, because they will do it just anyhow. There is no
Exactly.
excellence. You're actually very right. I quite agree with you on that. Thank you so much for sharing, Sunayon.
Right. Yeah.
Olamide. So, my question for you is: have you ever felt pressured by, by your peers or by trends to dress in a particular way that doesn't resonate with you? Have you ever felt that way? And if yes, how did you, overcome it?
Okay, thank you for that. Well, yes, I have. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that would be like in high school, right? Precisely junior secondary school. So there was a major transitioning for me from primary school. So I went to a very, square primary school. But the junior secondary school that I transitioned to, it wasn't far apart, but not exactly the same standard. So when I got there, it was a lot of back and forth, especially for my siblings, because it was cringe. Oh my god.
Mm,
It felt like putting, is it a round whatever in a square hole. So it wasn't really sitting well, and the norm was indecency. The norm was, there was a lot of pressure. But I think one thing that helped me is foundation. What you know,
mm,
there's a saying that, what you know can never be taken away from you. So the
mm,
moment you know that this is wrong, you don't just know that this is wrong, you've experienced the flip side of the wrong, which is the right. So wherever you step into, there is a knowledge sponsoring your action. So forever, for whatever thing I'm saying yes to, or whatever thing I'm saying no to, I know the why. I don't just know the why, I understand the why, and I have experienced the why, right? So
mm,
the foundation is very important. Your why is important, your motive. So I could have gotten into the school and maybe, blended to everything that was happening, but I had the foundation. I knew right from wrong to by the glory and the grace of the Lord, so I could maneuver even in the pressure. So yes, I
mm,
did experience it. And I
mm,
think I would like to add to what, she said the other time, the question you asked, something dropped in my spirit while she said that. I think another problem is because the question you asked was, what can we do to the fashion industry? Right. I think
mm,
one thing that I would like to point out is, maybe you asked that question, what came to my head is, let's pick a side. As believers, let's pick a side. Sometimes you see some things that we put out modest and we're confused. We're like,
mm,
okay, okay, sister me, okay, okay, because it's not looking like what we know. But because you are our own, we're trying to say maybe it's not that bad after all. So you get what I'm trying to say. So I feel like it is very important for us to pick a side. If we're saying, oh, this is who we are, this is what we stand for, modesty. Let's stand for it. Let's shine as the light and not, follow the standard of others. I'm sorry for the background noise.
it's okay.
And not just follow the trend. Scripture says we are the light of the world. So that simply means we're the standard of living. So it is an error for the standard to follow another standard. I mean, it's just clash of purpose and all. So I think picking a side is very important and staying with what we have been called to do as Christians, believers in that space. So I think that will further help reflect our results. Thank you.
Mm, Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing, Olamide. So you mentioned earlier about foundation, right? So you said your foundation helped you to know what is right, what is wrong, and why you do what you do. So do you want to maybe take us deeper on that? When you say foundation, what do you mean? What helps you, know your right, your wrong, what to do and what not to do? Because I believe there is someone on this call, right, on this in this session, conversation rather tonight, that really wants to know what exactly should help her maintain her stand. So what?
Okay, so are you asking me to share my experience or my foundation or what exactly I mean by having a solid foundation? So I don't like.
Yes, 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 yes. Something like having a solid foundation.
Okay, okay.
That even in the
So
midst of the pressure you didn't submit or you didn't give in.
okay, okay. So for me, yeah, I kind of like started, this RCCG children church thingy, right? So starting there, it was all biscuits and Ribena every Sunday. But some way, somehow, the constant lectures, Sunday schools, and everything, there's a way you grow, 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 grow so much that growth is you don't notice every day as you are growing. You're just filling a box, filling a blank space. But then, boom, you wake up tomorrow and you're like, I'm not where I used to be, that kind of thing. So the teachings, piled up together and rolled up together, and atmosphere surrounding what would I call this now? Association. Very important. So growing up, I've always been big on my circle, even as a child. So I know that I can be nice to everybody. Oh, Olamide is sweet. But there has to be a point where you say, oh, this is what I stand for. This is what I can do. So it would inform even the kind of persons that come to your space. So when I'm saying foundation, I'm saying the teachings I was privileged to receive early as a child, personal decision, okay, and association. So even the association stem from a place of personal decision. That these are the kind of people I will move with. I am walking to a direction. I'm headed somewhere. I need people that look like where I'm going to around me, right? So even as a child, there has to be that decisiveness that I may not know everything I want to be, but I know what I do not want to ever be. So yes, the teachings, submitting to early teachings, as well as decisiveness. I think that did help me growing up. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. That's like insightful. Okay, so Nayon, you mentioned earlier, right, about how, or maybe modest fashion, how we think, right, most people think rather that modest fashion is maybe not the many modest fashion designers, maybe they are lazy, they are not excellent in what they do. So how do you think that we can bring in creativity, into modesty? Or how would you say that you as a person has been able to bring in creativity and still follow the trend in modesty, like in your style, as maybe a modest fashion influencer, so to say? Because I know you're a fashion educator, but how would you say that you've been able to bring in trends, creativity, and modesty all in one, right? Put everything together. How have you been able to do that?
So I don't know if you noticed that there are some people that they generally don't have a personal style,
Mm,
all right? And people do not just wake up one morning and decide to start dressing well. Some people can, some people are privy to that, right? But there are some people that we know that, let us say, for example, they have the money to spend to look fine, but they genuinely don't even know how to look fine.
mm,
Now, like I said earlier, it's very important that if in the fashion industry you want to do this thing, just be grounded in it. So for me, when people want to build their brands and they reach out to me, I think it's through like an entire series that can make you give up on building a brand. That's my goal. Because it is very strenuous. We see bigger brands and we want to be like them, but we're not ready to put in the work those people are putting into it. Now, when you say creativity in modesty, first of all, my God is a creative God, as at the last time I checked, right? There is nothing you ask God that He cannot do.
you're
In fact,
absolutely
He
right.
has given
You
you
are
a brain,
absolutely right.
He has given you a brain, and He has given you a mouth. First of all, use your mouth to ask God for this thing. Secondly, use your brain. When you ask God, that's not the time to go and sleep. That is the time for you to try and do your own homework. do your research, find out about these things, know how it works, understand customer psychology. Why do they
Mm,
buy the things they buy? What
mm,
interests people? Now, in fashion, we do something called age grade categorization, right? We
mm,
categorize buyers by their age and pay grade. If I want to attract people in the university, for example, we have two variants of universities. We have the private university and we have the public university, correct?
okay.
And we also know that people in private university, this is not a shade, but we know that people in private university could afford to buy some certain amount of things, even if they are like higher than the average price because of their surroundings, correct? Now,
Okay.
if I was an undergraduate and I was about to start a fashion brand in uni, say I'm in Covenant, the way I'm going to go about it is going to be entirely different. Do you know why? Because I'm going to make sure that I understand the environment in Covenant and the things that are very, very, like things that I feel like if Covenant students should see, they might find interesting. And the only way we do this thing is market research. Your market research
Absolutely.
could be as simple as you putting on an outfit to see if people are going to like it. For
Mm,
example, when I started Modest Fashion, if I dress to church, I know that when I'm going home, I don't, in a Sunday, less than 10 orders. Nothing less than 10 orders. Yes, oh, I love your dress. I made it. Like, see, I announce myself. In fact, at some point, I don't take Uber, I don't drive, like, I don't do any of all those things so that people can see me on the road and say, oh, I like your clothes. And I'll say, oh, I made it.
mm.
Right? If you want to, the creativity is there. In fact, modesty is not anything deep. It can be this scarf. Sorry, it can be this scarf, right? Understand why a Christian girl wants to buy this scarf. It has yellow. It's different. When she ties it, she feels good. How does it make you feel? Do you understand? And when we say modesty, it's not even about your clothes alone. What of the accessories you use?
So now it seems you're frozen. Can you still hear me? Okay. Well, Sunaya is trying to. Why she's trying to get Why she's trying to get her network back. Okay, I think she's back now. Sunaya, can you hear me?
Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me, please? Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, so the market is there. Oh, the creativity is even there. It's not far.
Mm,
Just refine it.
mm,
Styles revolve every 10 years. There's nothing you are wearing now that is new. It has always been in existence. The only
mm,
thing you just, okay, I was waiting for this moment. Sorry. So the only thing you just basically need to do is to refine those things. Oh, people are wearing, do you notice now that midi skirts, long skirts are coming back to trend? People are now wearing it.
mm.
That Mary Amaka skirt that we used to call Mary Amaka is no longer Mary Amaka anymore. Are you
I
saying
can
that they did
imagine.
anything special to it? No. The only difference is just that somebody decided to bring it back and wear it in a more different way. Show people how to style it better. So there's really, if you ask me, the truth is there's not really nothing wrong with the fashion space. People are not just ready to do the work. It is there. The designs are there. The fashion, everything is there. But it just needs people to harness it. It needs people to tap into it, right? And maybe also we need to start maybe encouraging people that are in this fashion, in this modest fashion space, that there's a market there, because I don't think there's enough sensitization for them to understand that this thing actually works and is happening, right? So
Mm.
that's just basically it for me. There's nothing wrong with the fashion space. When there's nothing, they don't need sensitization for anything. They are not just ready to do the work. That's just my own honest opinion. Thank you.
Wow. Well, but don't you think that it's as a result of the fact that we have more, um, should I say more people advocating for nudity? Maybe this is one of the reasons why modest fashion influencers are not willing to really do the work, because when you happen to look left, right, center, and everywhere around you, you turn, and what you're seeing is maybe nudity, and what everyone is embracing is nudity. Let's just be honest, it will be difficult, and I think it's not maybe just in modest fashion alone, right? Maybe in when it comes to modest fashion, in other areas of our life as well. When you turn left, you turn right, and you feel like I'm the only one doing this thing. Like, why am I even? Why should I even be resilient? Why should I even give my whole? Why should I even be? So I'm just maybe trying to give people some grace. Maybe
Okay, so
modest
the
fashion,
thing is,
some grace, right? Just
when
trying
you
to
say
extend grace.
nudity is very uncomfortable.
Mm,
Nudity is very uncomfortable. And we're currently in a generation where everybody shouts about their mental health now,
mm,
right? If you dress anyhow and you post it on the internet and they drag you, you know, the funny thing is people know what is right and people know what is
mm,
wrong. Everybody knows what they are doing, right? Because what are you even looking for dressing in a very immodest way, right? The
mm,
truth is, there are certain times, I'm not even going to lie, there are certain times that I want to wear certain outfits to certain places because they fit those places I'm going to. I like to dress for the occasion, right?
mm,
And you're now torn on between, should I wear this clothes? Should I not wear this clothes? How is it going to look? Then you start fighting in your mind that, ah, I don't want to live based off people's validations, right? I want to do me. Now, at that point in time, it's you and the Holy Spirit that will be fighting that war. I can fight it. You can fight it. It's our choice. Do you understand? And I'm going to just tell you the truth. Modesty is a state of art. It's not even about how you dress at the end of the day. It doesn't, it starts from your heart before it transits into your look.
wow,
Yes,
wow, and that's
it starts
absolutely
from your
true.
heart. If your heart does not even like, if your heart doesn't even really understand that I want to do this thing. Okay, so there are days in your life that there are times, like you said, I'm an older generation, but I'm not older like that. I'm just a millennial, right? Naturally, there are some things you might not just find me doing because I'm a millennial, not because there are no other millennials like that, right? The same way we have some Gen Zs that are very calm, like Olamide. We also have some very wild Gen Zs, right? They're everywhere on the internet. They're like doing their thing. They don't care about anybody and all. You have a decision to make. You also have what you want for yourself. But I think the truth is, people bully modesty a lot, which is another reason why some people will naturally want to tilt towards that area, right? But let me not lie to you, you could get a pay. Oh. If you dress well, it pays
Mm, mm,
too.
mm,
Yes. You
mm,
might say that dressing in modesty can make you harness find girl opportunities faster. I need to be saying all these things because these are the arguments people are going to be having, that good girl no they pay, oh, fine girl privilege and all of those things, right?
mm,
But like I said, it just starts from your heart. It starts from your mind before it goes into what you wear. See, if your mind does not carry it, don't bother. Just be wearing anything you want to wear. Don't even stop yourself. It's not that you will wear that thing and be saying that I shall say, well, let them not say that we not dress modest. No. Me, as I am like this, I'm very comfortable. Like this, I can go anywhere like this. I'm fine. Nothing to me. I'm not going to feel less of myself, right? But some people can't. They can't. And you won't
mm,
blame them.
mm,
It just what rocks their boats. I know we have a lot of corsets out there. We have a lot of people making dresses with small cups. We used to abuse the designers, but we found out that it is even the customers that demand for it.
mm.
I've had people that I've consulted with, and they said, I want to go into Ashewo clothing. And I'm like, okay, why? They said it brings in more revenue. Do you
You can
understand?
imagine. You can imagine.
So you won't tell somebody that, don't sell this clothes though. The market is there, right? So it's not like I'm not trying to cut everybody some slack, but at the end of the day, you'll find out that when people want to tilt, maybe you're about to get married, where you're already a millennial, you're wanting to get, you just see that naturally they will shift towards modesty.
So
It's
it's not
just a
as though
cycle. They will just become Jesus girls, you know, they will embrace God. By that time, would they not buy the modest clothes? Would they
absolutely
not
they
pick it?
will.
Is it not the state of their art? So that's
It
it.
is. Mm, it is. Thank you so much for sharing, Sunayon. And I personally believe that social media actually has a lot of grip on people's mind these days. Personally, even when I'm going to social media, I try to guard my heart. Like when I begin to see that I'm feeling so much on social media, there's a way it affects my spiritual environment. Like there's just a way it affects my spiritual environment. I'll be like, Olamide, you need to slow down. When I see myself doing things I don't naturally do, I know it's because I've filled my mind with so much social media content.
Your
Wow.
life is affected by a few things:
Mm,
what you see, what you hear,
mm,
the environment you live in,
mm,
right? And have
mm.
you ever wondered why you pick up bad habits faster? And for you to pick up a good habit, it requires you, God, it requires you, God, 40 days fasting and prayer. But do you realize when you also pick up a bad habit, it's very easy.
Mm,
For you to keep up a good habit, you need 16 days. Like you need to do that thing consecutively for 16 days.
mm,
Sometimes people will say that, I want to stop doing this and I want to change. I want to change. But they will start that thing now and continue again. The thing is,
mm,
we have a problem of overconsumption when it comes
mm,
to social media content.
mm.
Sometimes I used to tell people that you need to go outside and touch grass. Touch grass small. Just touch grass and know that this is real life. What you are seeing online is just make believe, right? Not
Correct.
everybody buys clothes every day. Not everybody unbox every day, right? Not everybody travels every day. These are some lies that social media has told you. Not every the people are just showing you maybe 1 minute of their 24 hours.
Mm,
And you are using 1 minute of somebody's 24 hours to guard the way you live your life. For me, your eyes is a doorway, your ears are doorways. See your environment, the kind of thing that goes on in your environment, the kind of people you relate with, the kind of people you interact with, what they say matters a lot. Let them call you, let them call you too strict, too Jesus. I'm a Jesus girl. In fact, I'm going to do like this if you call me Jesus girl. I'm very proud of it. But I understand that social media can influence you, but you can also influence people on social media.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
influence over influence. Let's see who influences who. And as a matter of
Mm,
fact, if you are a word person and you create content as a word person, all the word people on the internet will start following you.
they'll
You will
gravitate
find
towards
your
you.
audience. I recently came across a post on TikTok for introverts. The person is an introvert. And the person started creating content for introverts. And you need to see how many people that are introverts can relate to the person's content.
Absolutely.
So just guard your heart. And how do you guard your eyes, guard your ears, and everything, first of all, make sure that you build your For You page, your FYP, brick by brick.
Mm.
It is what you search for the most that the internet will bring to you.
Like the other algorithm brings to you.
My business page now, when I open it, the only thing I see is bridesmaid. I don't see any other thing. My TikTok page, I think for a while I've not really been active online. I went to TikTok and the only thing I've been seeing is homosexuals, lesbians, and I'm like, what is going on here? My For You page, like my FYP, is already scattered. Now I have to start building it again. You will be very intentional. Unfollow the people you need to unfollow. Follow those that you need to follow. That when you wake up in the morning and you are done praying, the first thing you see is the post of the person you initially want to see, not what you don't want to see.
Mm.
Some things go on online that you're not even aware about it. Years after you find out, or maybe 2 months after, you not say, hey, so this thing happened. Like now, I was on Twitter a few days ago and I started seeing all the pastors shenanigans. One pastor this, one pastor that. Hey, is it not because I built my FYP brick by brick? So you are the one
Mm.
that will control what you consume, because
Mm.
what you consume is what you turn out to be. But
Mm.
overconsumption also kills. Overconsumption can inspire you, and overconsumption can ruin you, but you get to decide what you want to consume. That's what I know. Everybody has free will to do whatever they
Mm.
want to do with whatever they see
Mm.
online.
You're absolutely correct. Because I feel everyone else here must have experienced what you're saying, right? Like when you begin to feed your mind with a particular content over and over again, there's a way it begins to shape how you see life, how you make decisions and all. Thank you so
So
much for sharing.
sorry for just let me just give you like a very raw example. There was a time that I'll see content of people saying that marriages are bad, marriages are this. Like I see like very vile content of people saying they left their marriage. They would do like 50-part series on how I married my enemy. And each morning when I wake up, I'll be seeing quotes on why men are mad, like why men are bad. I'll be seeing, do you know that unconsciously I started feeling like truly this is how this
This
gender
is how
is.
men are.
It now took me time. Then there are other posts you will now see that they will now say that women that want to get married are giving pick me vibes. So me too, unconsciously, if I don't want to express my desires of wanting to get married, so they don't say I'm a pick me. But I discovered that I was shortchanging myself with God,
Mm.
because all these people pushing this narrative and maybe kneeling down in their house for their husband and presenting their husband with food. Tell me, I'm here. I'm deciding to live my life based off of what they have said, forgetting that that might not be their reality. It's just like, I don't know if you watch Just Us Girls Global.
Absolutely, I do. I do.
This
Follow
girl
the
that
series.
does like streaming in that she was lying that
Mm.
show men pepper and see what she was doing. So that's how it is in reality. You will just pick your side.
Mm. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Sunaya. That's actually quite rich and enlightening.
You're welcome.
Olamide, just before we go, my last question for you will be that what's one piece of advice that you give to a teenager who is, struggling to stay true to modesty or struggling to maintain her values? What's one piece of advice would you give to her that can actually help her?
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I would like to introduce you to God.
Mm.
Honestly, that's I cannot be start looking be intentional, be disciplined. Your scripture says that it quickens us. So
Mm.
if I'm to introduce you or give anything, find God. I think there's a Mr. Dusuyukan song that says, when I find you, when I know you, when I find you, I find me. So the moment you can find God, your identity is unveiled. And I don't
Mm.
think you would begin to argue about modesty when God shows you you, because
Mm,
you view yourself from his lens, you understand who you are in him. So by default, you just know that certain things cannot be seen or done by you. So I'm introducing you to the person of the Holy Spirit. Know God, find God. And how do you find God? Accept the life of Christ. I'm not even trying to, okay, yes, I'm trying to use it to Jesus. Well, that's what I have to give you. Such as I have, I give to you. So find God. It's not too young. And that's the lie the devil tries to sell to my generation. Oh, you're too young. Well, some people even say, I would say, Jesus, Jesus, forgive me when rapture comes. That's a lie. You don't even know. So as a teenager, the devil is out to destroy. No, my pastor was preaching last week. Was it last week? Yeah, last week. And he was preaching overcoming digitally. He said something really profound. He said the battle is not with spear and swords now, it is stripes and scrolls. So the devil is not coming to us as, oh, in your dream, press your neck. No, it's coming with these subtle things, social media, bringing things that are not of God. But there's an army that is emerging of young teenagers who love the Lord and are unashamed of their person in Christ, that will
mm,
carry Jesus on their head, be so beautiful, so cute, yet modest. So I'm
absolutely.
introducing you to the person of Jesus. Find him, seek God, be radical about it. Let the things of the spirit excite you. Trust me, when you can do all this, you'll just notice that certain things are not appealing to you anymore because you have
Mm,
encountered light. I went for an outreach with a friend few months ago. That was me. And then she was explaining to me how that there's a community that they've never experienced power supply like they've, and she was asking Olamide, how do they feel? And I said something, I said it, and when you say something, you go back like, I'm like, they've never experienced light. So to them,
mm,
darkness is a norm.
wow.
And I'm like, okay. I just say random, like, no, this is profound because they actually haven't seen it. So it's when you see like say, darkness you dark. But you've not even experienced a better version of what you are currently seeing. So to you, that's the best that can ever happen to you. And that's what the devil makes us feel like. So before coming into Christ, we see we're in the world, we think that is all that there is. But coming to light, we understand that now this is the actual way, this is where the actual Steve is. So if you're a teenager listening to me, my name is Olamide Arinde. I'm a 17-year-old, and I'm telling you that it pays to love Jesus. It pays to serve Jesus. It pays to do the things of the Spirit. It's not boring. It's not boring. I tell you for a fact. And same as modesty, it's not boring. And I pray that God is going to help us bring people our way that will hold our hands and walk us to the path of destiny. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much for sharing that day. Thank you so much. And I quite agree with what you mentioned that when you find God, and I think one of the things that has helped me maintain my stance for modesty is actually finding God. Because I said earlier that it's not an issue of my background, because it's not like I had strict parents, so to say. Like my parents were those social people. When I mean social, I'm not saying they were wild, but I mean my parents attended parties, they left me at home. I could do whatever it is like, I want to do. I mean, and even like the past maybe 6, 7 years, I've had this liberty and I could have chosen to do anything, dress anyhow. But I believe that me finding God at my like when I was say 16 was one thing that helped me to maintain my stance for modesty, because I can imagine me not finding God. I would have been wowed. Like there was just no other way. I would have been proud and dressed indecently and all of that. But yeah, finding God helped me to realize discover my identity, and now I'm so rooted in that identity that I mean I cannot even afford to dress a particular way. I can't just imagine myself revealing my cleavage. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. And if I'm to be honest, I find indecency um it's indecency irritates me. I just don't know. It's just the way I feel. Like, why are you revealing your body? Like, maybe I need to sit down with those who actually dress indecently to let me know the rationale behind what they do. Like, why do you feel the need to want to reveal your body? It doesn't even
Since
make sense to me.
I think I have an explanation on their behalf, if you want.
Okay, please let me.
My friend, we were discussing one time. He said to me, he said, Olamide, if you, how did he put it? If you know whose you are, right, you know who you are not, right? So They are dressing indecently because that's who they are as at now. We're trusting that as many of them that encounters this life, they are changed. Do you understand?
Mm,
So it is because you know you have found who you are in Christ. You know your
mm,
stand. You know your principles. You know what God will have you do. That is why this thing is irritating to you. Daniel told them, I cannot not pray. I can't defile myself of the king's meat. What's the king's meat? He had the knowledge of what the king's meat is. That's an, I can't take this thing. But for a layman
mm.
with no understanding, no revelation, no insight, it's meat. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing Olamide. Thank you. Um, So now, before we bring the session to a close tonight, my last question for you is: what practical tips can you give to young women, especially Gen Z, on building a modest yet fashionable wardrobe? Many people want to look good, they want to be fashionable with modesty, but they don't know how to go about it. So, what practical tips can you give to them to be able to have a modest yet fashionable wardrobe?
Number one, be very clean. Be clean. Be a neat person. I'm not starting from clothes. I'm starting from, if one of the
Hygiene.
contributions to the world is you using roll-on and perfume, use it. Brush your teeth well. Make sure that it's not smelly. Make sure that your hair is nice. I'm on low cut. If you see me outside, you might not know I'm the one because I might wear wig. Yeah, yes. Look put together. Modesty does not need to be expensive. You can wear okirika, though it is contraband in Nigeria. I don't know if a lot of people know. You can wear thrift, buy it, iron it very well, put that perfume that I talked about at first, put it, make sure you're smelling well. Don't wear color riots. Understand primary colors and secondary colors. When you do, it will help your life. Know the kind of hairstyle that fits you and the one that does not fit you. You must have done some that has fit you in the past. Stick to it. That is how you build your personal style in all sincerity. Wear very comfortable clothing. Don't wear clothing that will make you start doing like this. Don't wear stripe on stripe. Build something called a capsule wardrobe. What is
Mm,
capsule wardrobe? Black, white, nude, cream, brown. You want to
mm,
invest in neutral colors. If you know you're starting out in life first, you want to be fashionable, go
mm,
simple. Don't try colors.
mm,
If you are dark, wear bright colors.
mm,
If you are light, wear dark colors,
mm,
right? Don't wear stripe on stripe. Don't wear print on print.
mm,
Yes, you only need to have basic shoe colors. Don't have Tokyo blue, envy blue, rival blue. Have black. I used to tell people when you want to buy shoe and you are starting out in life, black, black flats. You can laugh, it's fine. Black flat shoe, brown flat shoe, one black heel, one brown heel, one gold, one silver. If you are a very young girl, have, those cross bag, have black and brown. Have slippers, black and brown.
mm,
It goes with anything. Buy a leather wristwatch, black and brown. It goes with anything. Why are you laughing?
apologies. I just can't escape my laughter. Sorry.
You want to wear, you want to look fine. Buy basic top. Basic. See, this top. If you wear it, you can wear your jackets on it. You are fine. You can wear it like this with skirts, with trouser. Do you understand? You can wear this thing and wear trouser and wear kimono. You are going. You are good to go. Learn to layer. Don't dress like a gungun. All these things are just basic. I'm serious. Black and brown, black and white, it should be your best. When you're even trying to be a fashionable, modest girly, don't. It doesn't need to be loud. Don't wear ball gowns. It's not your time. With
mm,
time, you graduate to understanding your body type. Right,
mm,
your body type will now determine. You will now know that I'm not supposed to wear. It's not my type that is wearing pencil skirt or
mm,
it's flace skirts people like me used to wear.
mm,
You will start knowing there's some kind of trousers that me I cannot wear. I cannot wear boyfriend jean, but I can wear mommy jean because of my kind of shape. I know.
mm,
So I don't used to stress, right? I have a mirror in your house so that you will look at yourself. Then make sure you have siblings that will tell you the truth. Those are the levelers in life. Your siblings will tell you if you're ugly. Your mom and your daddy will not. Your siblings will tell you. But just invest in basic outfits. Just one earring. You can have this earring and wear it for 3 years. Nobody will know. It's how you carry yourself. Then with time, the day you have money, you will save, and buy your first ready to wear brand in Nigeria. You will buy your own. You first buy. You start buying like that. But I will not tell you that when you want to start dressing modestly and you want to look modest, now go and buy all the most expensive clothing. You can buy the most expensive and still look ugly. Find your style first. Invest in very neutral pieces. Then you start knowing colors that fit you.
mm.
That's my advice.
Thank you so much, Snaya, for sharing. Like, truly, like one need to find one style first. I think that's one of the things that has helped me. Like, I know what works for me, and sometimes I guess, like you said earlier, that only things like God Himself is creative, and I think there is that creativity that God has put in me, even in my outfit. Sometimes when I walk into a space, and they're gonna be like, "You look so good," and I'll be like, this outfit, I put it up like in 30 minutes, 1 hour. Like I didn't even intend to wear this like maybe 2 hours before coming.
There you go,
It just
yes.
came up and I mean I just decided to just wear it and I look so good in it. So I think that's one thing that would help finding one style and sticking to neutral colors if you're a beginner and you want to embrace modest fashion, right? Sticking to neutral colors and having a capsule wardrobe. Thank you so much, Sunaya, for sharing. So I really don't know if there is if you have any questions, please let's quickly take them in, say in a minute. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments and let's take the question just before we go. Okay. Do you have any question? Please drop it in the comments before we go so that we can bring this conversation to a close. All right. Since there are no questions, I think we can just wrap up and draw the curtains here for tonight. Thank you so much, Sunayo, for the wisdom you shared tonight. Thank you for the experts insight you brought to the session. I mean, you
My
balance
pleasure.
humor with you addition out wisdom and you balance this with humor at the same time. You thought I was laughing almost almost not sure. I love to laugh though. Like I love to laugh a lot. Right. But thank you so much for the insight you brought to the conversation tonight. Like I really, really appreciate and I'm grateful.
My
Olamide, thank you
pleasure.
so much for the wealth of wisdom you brought. Thank you so much for the
Much for the
lights. I
light.
mean, we're
I
giving
mean,
it
it's
back
goes
to
back
back,
to back,
back to
back
back.
to
So
back.
thank you so much. So I think we are just going to wrap up here. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Everyone who joined, thank you. And the conversation will continue hopefully next week. If not next week, like the week after next week, it's real. So thank you so much for joining and bye, everyone.
All
Bye.
right. Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.